And once again, welcome to a Talking Technical show. And it's interesting that some viewers to this program is slowly but surely getting a little bit nervous on the market. I called this market a bubble market, and I said we are living in heaven and everything is just going up. In actual fact, the S&P 500 is showing some tiny little cracks here, but our market is, as you can say, almost right at the top. I mean, our market is just showing that there's a lot of buyers around, and the rand that's weakened help it a lot. And that's my first request is from Basil. Basil asked about new USD, and as we know, new USD is an exchange traded fund, and it tracks the rand US dollar. Now Basil, I drew a 40-week chart, a weekly chart here, just to show you that something interesting is happening in the new USD ETF. And the two moving averages that I'm using is the 20-week and the 40-week. Now, there's the 40, there's the 20. But what happened was, a few weeks ago, it gave us this golden cross. Now, a golden cross, in the case where it is a rand, it tells you that we can expect a weaker currency. Now, yes, we had a dead cross there at the top, and what happened? The rand strengthened, and now we're seeing a golden cross. So I think what we can see is we can expect more rand weakness in time to come. And the reason why I'm saying that is I've also got an inverse head and shoulder. There's the left shoulder, there's the head, and the right shoulder. And if I must do my projections here, I pick from the head, the neckline, and let's do the projection here. And the moment I do that, you will see that it can maybe go a little bit higher than where it's now. There you are. It can go all the way to 16 rand and 86 cents if it plays out this inverse head and shoulder. So, Basil, I think you may be a little bit late just to rush in and buy. And look at this chart, and I'll tell you why. Look at these strong moves up. What we do see nowadays in the rand, it struggles to strengthen, but when it weakens, within 3 or 4 days, it weakens quickly. And you can suddenly see that the price just goes, maybe 50 cents or 40 cents in a day, and that's quite a lot. Let's have a look at Bright. If we look at this company, I mean, this was one of the darks of the market. I actually thought that this looks like that this share is slowly but surely recovering. But suddenly this share is starting to look a little bit, you can almost say iffy, almost like it gets a little bit nervous nowadays. So let's have a look here. If you look at this chart, the last couple of days, it went from 4.80, you can almost say 4.79, all the way down to 4.10. I just want to see if there's not a little bit of volume there. Let's just do volume, because usually when a share starts to drop on higher volume, I'm always a little bit nervous on that. If it's not on a lot of volume, it's not going to bother me. No, not really. There's not really a spike in volume. But if I look at this chart, and remember this chart is coming from a very, very low base. I just want to see if it's still above that line, the big support line. There's the line. It's spot on. It just broke below that. There you are, Johan. I'm a little bit nervous if I see this, because what it tells me, I mean, we had a nice recovery in Bright the last couple of, you can almost say a year, that it really tried to recover. This stock was a stock well above 80, 90 rand, and I mean, it's trading now with the rand 4.10. Look at this massive base that it's forming here. But what worries me is that we must not get below, let's say, 4.10 on a weekly close. Then we can maybe move back below this line, and it can remain, this line can remain a resistance for quite a while. For me, I was always a little bit positive on the chart to see that, yes, it gives us higher lows, it looks positive. For me now, mustn't get below 410, and of course it must get above 481 to trigger me a new momentum to the top, and that will maybe give me an accumulation sign. But this is a quick move to the downside, maybe a little bit nervous. Well, let's have a look at Solly's request. Solly, You're looking at Nampak as a buy. Let's have a look. I just want to get it quickly here. There you are. Nampak. Let's have a look. Sorry, I think you may be a little bit late because, I mean, look at this share. It rallied from August this year from 2 Rand to almost 4 Rand 40. But what I don't like about it is, can you see what I'm seeing here? I'm seeing a tiny little tweezer here at the top. That makes me a little bit nervous. And if I do a normal trend line here, I think I'm going to show you that you're on the brink of testing a very important line. There you are. If you look at this chart, we're on the brink of breaking this line. And if I look at another line here and I do that, it's beautifully inside a rising wedge, a rising channel. And if that happens, if it breaks below 3.89 Rand, this beautiful rising or ascending channel can break down and give the share down all the way and move back to 320. And look at this. If you just do your sum here, you will quickly see. I'm going to do the projection quickly so that you can see where I'm getting some strong support here. I just want to project it downwards. And the moment you see that size is almost the same there, but just have a look there. If I do that and I bring that all across, then you can see that there's some strong support around this level of 320, and that's maybe where it can go to if this channel break. So yes, it's quite important, solely that it must hold above it. Yes, you can of course break this ascending channel if you want to, and you need to go long above 4 Rand 3 cents, make use of a stop loss of 385, and then hopefully it can go back to 453. The chart worries me a little bit. I think, like we say in Afrikaans, it's maybe a little bit mosterd na die maal. You may be a little bit late just in tracing the stock. Let's have a look at the darling of the market. And I mean, Richemont is a massive company. I mean, this company prints money. But the big thing with this company is also big in the index. But look at this rally. I mean, from 149 Rand all the way up 235.67. But what do I see here? I see this hammer there. I first thought it can maybe turn out to be a shooting star candle, but look at this conglomerate of candles here. They're fighting each other. But for me, the golden rule will be here after such a rally, and this lamp pole formation, and I'm not that keen to short Richemont because it's such a solid company with a lot of cash. If you want to short it below 232.42 and make use of a stop loss of 240. And where can it go to? It can maybe close these two gaps. One is 225 and it closes at 223.97, and the other one opens up at 209.98 and it closes at 206.99. For me, Fred, I'm a little bit nervous because a friend of mine actually did a sum. He said from this rally to that, from let's say 150 to 240, that equates to almost 3,000 points in the top 40 index. So just be a little bit careful. If Richemont comes under pressure, we can maybe see the Aussie, or as we now the top 40 derivative market, that Aussie futures contract can maybe also come under pressure. Let's have a look at Bongi's request. Bongi is looking for Alice. Bongi, I mean, this is a tiny company. It had massive problems in the past. Let's have a look at the chart. Well, Bongi, if I look at this chart, what does that tell me? This tells me that this share is a little bit uncertain. Apart from that, you've got a few days where it gives you this, and that's quite... You see these little dashes here, these tiny candles where there's almost no volume or no real bodies. That just tells you that it trades on thin volume, and if it does trade on thin volume, I'm always a little bit nervous. And on the other hand, look at this base between 23 cents and 17 cents that's been in place for a few months. What happened? It jumped from 21 cents all the way to 33 cents in one go, 2 sessions. And now it's coming back. Yes, I like this candle. This candle shows me some beautiful long lower shadow, but what it tells me is that this share is very, very, very sensitive to any move. It can jump up and then in the next day or two, it can give all the way, all that back. So be a little bit careful. I will not buy it. If I look at the moment, I would rather wait for a consolidation. And always remember, there's nothing wrong to wait. The market will always give you an opportunity to buy it back or maybe get another share. In actual fact, a friend of mine phoned me the other day, and he was very nervous on the market. And I said to him, are you happy with your profits? He said, yes, I had a wonderful year in the market. I said, well, do yourself a favor. If you are happy with it, then just lock in the profit. So if I see a chart like this, you don't need to buy it. Wait for a nice consolidation before you buy and before you get in. Otherwise, you just wait patiently for another share and then you get in and you can buy it. Let's have a look just to finish off this session of the show, and let's have a look at transaction capital. And before we rush onto it, beautiful candles, but there you are. Classic shooting star right at the top. It broke below 44.81, followed up with a bearish engulfing candle. That makes me negative or nervous about the share. And what do I see here? I see we're testing this line. So for me, personal Louis, I will not look at it. And for me, if it breaks below 40 Rand 96, it's definitely not worth looking at it, because I can see my stochastic is still moving down. Maybe a little bit early to jump in. Well, visit our website, www.fransdeklerk.com, for more info, and we will chat again.